Yes. All right, so this next one is from Noobifier. Community Concerns, March 2022, PvP sliders. This is something I actually want to do on my own channel a little bit, is look at some Spectrum posts or some Reddit posts and see what people think about my comments on those. You guys seem to like to hear my comments about things. I don't know why, but yeah, I appreciate that. Also, Crucian, thank you for 50 months, man. Appreciate it.
So with everything that's going on in Europe and with everything that's not seeming to be going on with Star Citizen this year, the topic that dominates Spectrum right now, can you guess it? It was the title of the video. Here we go into the depths of Spectrum once again. Hello,
No
YouTubers,
way.
this is
PvP
Noobifier.
sliders?
I started this new playlist and series called Community Concerns because I have more time to research. If you missed past week installments, there's a playlist. You can start it like a podcast. Consider bookmarking and checking in every once in a while so I can help keep you up to date. And if you find it fun, please do me a favor and share this with a friend or orcmate. Today is the 1st of March and your last opportunity to enter the monthly contest. I try to do these on Tuesdays, and I try to choose threads that are well presented and have a good banter back and forth. It's up to you to comment in the comments, here in the comments, to let me know how I can tweak this new weekly segment. First of all, I wanted to point out that there were no fewer than 4 posts asking, never mind that, demanding actually, for there to be a toilet placed in the Cuddy series. If that's also a major focus of this week instead of what's actually going on, that might show you how Spectrum has finally run out of things to be pissed off about. I'm sure that CIG can do something this week to rekindle the fires. But we begin with the threads. Trinite asked what may be on all of our minds, and that is, do cheap LTI tokens even matter now in 2022? They mentioned a shift on how buyback CCUs work, that it might make more sense to start with a war bond ship closer in value to the target ship, unless you actually plan to maximize the changed CCUs. Quinton said that at the current rate of development that LTI won't matter because insurance doesn't start counting until the game starts, which won't be in our lifetime, which is a little bit funny, but it does point out something. Others correctly specified that CCUs and ships retain their value if left unmelted. So with that in mind, not much has really changed moving forward, and all of the special tactics that were used by the backers and the gray market are mostly left in place. Burton Buster said that a cheap LTI token always matters, as they offer not only a discount, but more room and therefore more range of choice to upgrade from. The entire thing comes to me as a...
Bro, the website game stuff, like, what is this, dude? What is this?
FOMO. Artificial scarcity, artificial rareness, and the fear of missing out. In general, it has and will continue.
And there's more gameplay balance on the website than there is in the game.
Continue to be a sales tactic to milk money away from backers until it no longer works. But it does work. It all makes sense until the game goes bankrupt. And then it's nothing. Anyways, I'm not wishing for that. It's just a possibility. So spend wisely. Don't spend more than what you're willing to lose. So we've noticed that no matter how many threads are started telling people that there's no way to tell the company that they need to change things if the funding comes in, because it would seem that yes, even in 2022, LTI tokens matter, or at least they're somehow important to someone. Next, Roxamars posted a mosaic of marketing material from CIG with the title, "But wait, there's more." In essence, they're asking the marketing team why they seemed so desperate in their marketing titles. Limited time. Last chance. Don't miss out. They said that desperate works only once or twice, but it falls short when used often. When used always, you could say that that's that fable where the boy calls wolf all the time. Archangel came back with a funny reply, basically saying that it's marketing and they need to market. So if that title was, "Buy it if you want, defend Stanton if you feel it's worth it," or "Our game is kinda cool, buy it, but no rush." I guess I'm highlighting this post because I personally ignore all the emails from CIG because they're always in a panic to panic. But this discussion helped me to see the other side because as easy as it is to see something and make fun of it, those members of the marketing team really have no choice but to constantly hype the game and keep the funding and keep the interest.
Yeah,
it's
their
basic
job.
clickbait, but from CIG instead of our content creators. Comment in the comments, do you ignore CIG's post or do you actually read them? Next, Bombkata asked what the ratio between developers working on the PU and the developers working on the Squadron 42. They said that they heard that there was a shift of focus but wanted to know in exact numbers or a ratio what the actual split was. They were concerned by the news as it made it sound as if these were two completely disconnected projects. Blue Wanderer suggested that there are at least 10 developers who are constantly demanding updates from one developer as to why things aren't releasing on time. Killian posted a really nice graph with a complete breakdown and absolutely no source reference, but I'm assuming it came from somewhere. The reason I posted the thread today is a comment.
It came from the 2020 financial analysis.
From Skycatrona. They said that the game is two games that share a lot of core tech. They've speculated that if server meshing was indeed a blocker, and that this blocker was assessed to be not possible to implement for at least a year or more, that the shift is simply personal management balance masquerading as an action or a call to action to complete Squadron 42. Take a normal thing and make it look extraordinary to distract from the obvious. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's reasonable to think that CIG might shift all of their focus to Squadron 42 mainly to finish that, or do you think it's because they want to spin a positive and distract from the fact that they're blocked? Comment in the comments.
No, I don't think that. I think that that is exactly what's happening. Is they're shifting their focus there. They're finally saying like, yo, this is taking way too long. It's got to come out, and we need to put this out. They probably have investors breathing down their neck a little bit on that now as well. So the shift is necessary, and then they're putting the bare minimum on the PU, as we can tell.
Here we go again with this stupid cyclic wave of PvP slider bullshit. There were posts asking for it, followed by a bunch of posts asking CIG to ignore the posts that are asking for it. I'm going to go on record. If you are posting on Spectrum, please don't use the word "we" in the title, as if you speak for the entire community, because you don't and can't. Don't title things "we." "We need" is not how it's done. You need. Make me a believer, but keep me out of it. Mick asked, or more specifically, Mick proclaimed that Mick is so ready for a PvE-only server. Basically, a server with them and only them and a scattering of NPCs. They cited how frustrating it was to basically trust in-game chat when the message is posted.
Other people enjoy telling the server, JT is safe, come here, and then wait and steal ships loaded with the product. Like, yes! Like, what do you mean? You just want to run JT by yourself and just make endless money? Like, just play a mobile game, dude. Get out of here.
Jumptown is safe just to land there and have all of their shit stolen and have their tune killed. They seem to have missed the point that that is the unknown of being double-crossed, and that's actually gameplay. Like, that is the gameplay. It's not farming pigs for gold in WoW. They went on to say that if you want that activity, then good for you, but that they're fed up with it, and they want to be able to enjoy Star Citizen in peace the way they had planned to. I'm going to say before I get into the other answers that this PvP slider was never part of the plan anywhere. It was addressed once and then pushed aside as not a sort of training mode toggle where there was never any threat from another player. This game was sold as a PvP first-person MMO, so I don't understand why some people keep buying ships expecting for one glorious day that Chris flips that magical switch allowing for people to disable other people, and all of the intended gameplay that offers. Yes, there are obviously some who want some sort of co-op test bubble where they and their friends can go mine rocks or move cargo without needing to pay escort or power up their own.
Listen, man, guys like this should have a system where they can hang out, but it should not be like a super lucrative situation.
Shields that would totally turn Star Citizen into even more of a time-wasting simulator. Years ago, Chris had posted up a stretch goal which included private servers and custom tooling, but that was a super long time ago, as was brought up by Lethality. Chris also said there that there would be Oculus Rift support, but that headset was sold, became obsolete, and then the company was bought by Facebook.
It's not even called Oculus.
Only to indicate this is why we can't just rely on the old stretch goals as the golden stadia for what's being worked on or what might come out. These so-called private servers, if made available, would be the last priority to be worked on, and we're still at least 10 years away with no public timeline in sight. These private servers, when spoken about on 10 for the Chair, would be limited and disconnected from the economy of the main server. Despite having no real threat, there would also be no real reason to go in there other than to waste your time. Shin posted that they interpret the OP's request as that they want a PvP event designed around PvP, but without PvP or the risk. A safe PvP space where PvP is disabled, but that has all the payouts. And then J3PT went further to say a conga line that prints money with no risk. Why do people do this to their name? Thelexipedia, right? Thelexipia expressed their hope that CIG implemented some sort of PvP slider where you could opt out, and then cited that some MMOs have actually done it, such as Elder Scrolls. Lethality, being the voice of reason in this case, went on to explain how this could not coexist inside the main universe, as the shared economy and all of that jazz would mean that the entire main server would mostly become a ghost town. If everyone had access to it, no one would play the
Once reputation comes in, your reputation should precede you, and then I believe certain systems you should have your weapons powered off, things like that should be a thing. Like there's no way that Terra should have like little pockets where people are pirating and shit. I just don't think that that should be a thing. And people like this, like, here's the deal: is we can hate on casual players, but casual players are the lifeblood of video games. All the PvPers and the hardcore players that are here watching the stream or probably watching this video are not going to be the lifeblood of the game. You are going to prey on these people, and you need them. So giving them a place where they could be and hang out and, but giving them incentives to leave that bubble is really what Star Citizen needs to do. I truly believe, and I fought for this for a long time, is players like this need like a safe haven of very low risk, very low reward gameplay, but a safe haven from all the chaos that is what Star Citizen is now. Some people just don't want the chaos. It's not that they don't want PvP, it's that they just don't want the chaos for 10 minutes sometimes. They just want to be free from other people being annoying. And I know it's the internet and that's hard to avoid, but in like 1 or 2 systems, like I'm not asking for a whole lot out of the 100 systems that are planned, it should just be a safe haven for players to just chill.
The real game. They went on to say that if we were given an opportunity to disable threat, many would, because why would you play in a universe where you could take damage but not return fire, just because that player had decided to flick a toggle in their option menus? If the option was made available, it would be active on all accounts, as there would be no reason to place yourself at risk when you can't return fire. Scrundle answered the OP by suggesting that instead of a PvP slider, they could add a button on the menu that gave a player 1000 UEC each time the button was pressed, because that's actually what they seem to be looking for, which was kind of funny. So, you see, despite Europe going through what would become literally World War III, people are still doing what they always do and have done in Spectrum, and that is ask for an easy button for a game that isn't even technically into alpha yet. People, let's let the game evolve before asking for stupid shit that we don't even know if we need yet. Comment in the comments with your comments. There were no fewer than 12 threads of players asking where the hell their XT armor was. The answer was the check's in the mail and they're being delivered in waves, so don't worry. And finally, Red Bear asked that CIG increase the time sync for reclaiming our ships, and before I tackle this one, that would only result in fewer people playtesting or people paying for a second or third ship to circumvent this extra time. We press on. They said that with fuel coming out, that they were worried that rather than asking for fuel and going through that loop, that players would just self-destruct their ships, reclaim, and carry on. They said that if the timers were increased significantly, people would give fuel a chance. They want consequence for blowing up ships. Cable Guy replied that rather than making it even more of a waste of time to play Star Citizen, why not just increase the cost to refuel and rearm, or make it more costly to claim a ship? They said that time is not the answer, and they proposed the opposite, which was to scrap timers in favor of money sinks. It's Anagoi suggested that the timer should begin as soon as the ship blows up, not when the claim is pushed. And then Radimir and X suggested that they go the other way and add a more formal insurance claim process, a new game loop, if you will, where you'd need to call the company and begin all the paperwork to fill out a claim. Some suggested some other things. The OP vigorously defended their OP by telling others why their answer was stupid and why the original OP was correct.
And the original OP does that in my YouTube comments and no longer comes by my Twitch streams because they did the same thing here.
Some suggested that it's a waste of time to theory craft unfinished game loops in a system when we don't even know how the current ones operate. So I'm going to end by asking, do you think there's a need to adjust how the claim systems work? If you run out of fuel, do you think you're just going to blow yourself up rather than giving fuel a chance?
Probably.
Comment in the comments. That's it. I've had enough for this week. I wanted to remind you that there's a contest with over $1,000 on the line, and that's linked at the end. Please check out the review that was done for the Velocity One flight yoke. Thank you so very much for your support. Share the videos with others to spread the word. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.
Thank you, Noobfire. Yeah, I'm glad. Noob actually told me to watch these, and one of you had already posted it. I didn't know. We just haven't reacted to too many videos. And I was like, yeah, these are kind of perfect for these reacts because he kind of is curating the posts for us, right, to have a reaction to. But yeah, man, it's the PvP slider thing is not going to be a thing, should not be a thing ever. But there needs to be risk and reward, and you need to entice players to come out of their safe space into the danger where things could possibly happen and gameplay interactions between players can. But in some places, it just needs to be chill. And that's just how I've always felt about it. So thank you again, Noob. I appreciate it. I put the link there for you guys in chat for that giveaway and stuff like that as well, if you guys want to check that out. And yeah, appreciate it.